Managed to drag this piece of crap in from outside. The wife's Courier. Can't really tell because of satin paint, but just got hammered by the hail. Had some wicked storms come through. These things aren't easy to find here, these headlight surrounds. So, don't know what we're going to do there, but that got whacked. The bonnet wasn't real good anyway. Nothing in this car's real good, but the bonnet's wrecked now. The roof is, can't really see, but the roof is it's pretty bad. I saw the hail bouncing off it like a trampoline. Got a nice big dent in the middle of the roof as well. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. I'm gonna have a look at what's wrong with the front end in this. So I fixed one side. It was earlier in another video. What's happening is the, I guess you call them bump stops, but they're not bump stops, are they? They're turn stops. They stop the little adjustment on the hub that stops it from turning full lock, or getting past full lock. So they've worn out over the years. I'm just letting these bigger tyres scrub on the inside. So I fixed one side and I didn't get around to fixing the other, just because I've been a bit lazy and been doing other stuff. So this thing's so high that the local 4-wheel drive club asked her if she wanted to join. This thing's so high that just the other day, my wife got a text message. When she opened it, it was from air traffic control, clearing her for landing in the driveway. All right, that's enough of that. Under here, I need to work out which side I did before. So I removed the bump stop on one side and fixed the steering stop on. Oh, well, there it is there. That's the thing I'm talking about. So that's the steering stop. Can you see that? So you can adjust that back out so the wheel doesn't hit up in here on the body. So you can see it's all dented in. It's actually worn a groove over the years. Can you see that? There you go. It's worn a groove, and that was wound right in. I actually turned that around so it was fresh again because the other side's just beaten up. So I adjusted it up so this wheel didn't hit. So it's the other side we're going to do today, which is this side. You can see that one's nowhere near. You can see it's actually worn away the thread. And it's got a really decent groove on here as well. So this one's been hitting a fair bit, I think. Plus it still lets the other side hit a little. So I reckon if we can fix that one up. Damn, this thing needs some work in the front end. Those Swago link pin bushes are destroyed. I've got to order those, and I've got to order those upper control arm bushes. I can't believe how well these tyres are still wearing, even though it has pretty much no upper control arm bushes. We need to, the bump stops off this side, but we need to remove the bump stop on the other side so we can wind the torsion bars back down. Everything's kind of rooted on this thing in the front end. It all feels pretty good though, it just doesn't look good. Anyway, moving right along. Let's get this thread out. I think I might take the wheel off, maybe. Maybe I'll turn the wheel and see if we've got enough room to get in there without taking the wheel off, because that'd be a better idea. And we need to soak it in some WD-40. Let's get onto that. Well, let's get some lube on the situation. I think last time I used the rattle gun and just zipped it out, so, and then spun it around from the back side. I ran it in and out a few times and then put this on the inside and ran it back through, because this won't want to go back through because the thread is destroyed. It's all wonky. Can you see that? All wonky. All right, let's get the rattle gun and see what happens. Hit it with some Ugga Duggers. Maybe a little bit more lube. You can never have too much lube, right? Well, a nut came off. which is not what happened on the other side. On the other side, the nut wouldn't come off, so maybe it fixed the thread. Look at that. But it's kind of left us with another dilemma. We're going to have to ruin the thread because we're going to have to put the nut back on after we've attacked it with multi-grips. Maybe that's how it did work on the other side. You know, it's been a little while. There's been a few shit boxes between then and now. Well, maybe that's what I did on the other side. So I'm going to get some multi-grips, put them on there. But before that, more lube. Whew. Whew. She's dripping. All right, a little bit more. Try and get some on the back there. All right, well, let's see if the trusty old adjustable destroying wrench will get that undone. Here they are. These things, I don't know. I don't know about these things. I rarely use them, except for stupid stuff like this. You know when you go to a friend's place and you're undoing brake lines, you're trying to help them out, and then they bring out these when they ask for a pipe spanner. You know, like, what do you normally use to undo your brake lines? Yeah, these. They're just like, then they're just one-use brake lines. Not enough? Come on. All right, fingers crossed. That's turning. Let's get some light in the situation. Oh yeah, that's turning. Oh yeah. Look at that, all that lube, see? Told you, you were worried. You were worried. Lube's just leaking out everywhere, it's not doing anything. You use too much lube. You're not going to be able to feel anything, but here we are. No, let's lock these killers back on again. It's light, I tell you what. What we'll do is we'll just keep doing this. Repeat the procedure. Try and stay close to the end here so we don't ruin too much of the thread. Now, I doubt these things have been touched since the 1990s, early 1990s when this truck was made. Turn this thing like that and see if we can ruin some more threads. All right, look, this is boring, so I'm gonna get this off. You guys go do something else. See you in a second. Yeah, look, I'm still going. Flaming heck, Elsa. Oh, look at that. Finally, get to use the fingers. But you know what it needs? More lube. Put it back in like that. Leave the damaged thread out there, which is the opposite to what I did on the other side. I'm going to do a quick measurement on the other side and make this one the same. Don't go anywhere. What are we at? 10, 15, about 17 millimeters. 17 millimeters. All right, 17 millimeters. Let's adjust the other one the same. See what happens. All right, that's close enough. I'll get a spanner and nip him up. But unfortunately, we can't be sure because the suspension's down a lot further than it is when you're turning and driving, but just as a guesstimation, I don't know if you can see that. It's full lock now, so what we'll do is see if that doesn't scrub, and we'll just keep adding a bit more back into it so that we can have the maximum amount of lock without hitting the body. So that's where I was hitting. You can't see it, but just there. Can you see that? You can't see that. Let's see. Well, you can see that now. But that was when the would have been somewhere down here. Come on. There we go. Somewhere down here. This part of the tyre would have been scrubbing up there. So I reckon we're close. See what happens. See what happens. That's as good as we're going to get it for now. So let's just leave it like that. Move on to the next thing. I really need to get the bump stop off the other side. All right, this is a wheel off situation. You can see where the wheel weight's been hitting. It's hard to believe that the lead wheel weight would do that much damage to the control arm. I did smooth it with a grinder, but I didn't cut into it at all. So that's all from the wheel weight. That's just more reason to lower it, right? That way they won't hit. That's my logic anyway. Look, there's the bump stop. The other side's off. This side's still on. I need to get a screwdriver and clean out all the debris and the bitumen and rocks that's in there and the clay and dirt. It'd be however long it's been on the road. It's probably, I don't think that have been changed. Anyway, I just had a thought. I think those things are called steering limiters. Does that make sense? Steering limiter? I don't know. Comment below if you know what it is. Anyway, let's get this off. Clear that out with a screwdriver so we can get a spanner in there or a socket. There's some rocks in there, I'll tell you. All right, now technically, this is archaeology because some of this crap has been in here since this thing was new. Dates back to the 90s. Now, why are bump stops bad? Well, bump stops are bad because they don't let anything hit the road. They don't let you go low enough. And that's bad, right? Now, it's pretty illegal to take bump stops off. Well, where I'm from anyway, so if you're in Australia, you probably don't want to take your bump stops off because you'll get a defect or a fine or both. But we don't care about that. Let's get these bump stops off. Well, it doesn't look happy in there, so I've decided it probably needs some lube. How am I going to get in there? There it is down there. Look at that. It's filthy. Some lube should help it. Get that in ya. Can you see that? Flooding it. There you go. That's probably enough. Let's see. Look, I thought for a minute there we were going to have to use a manual tool, like, you know, something that needs some manual labour, but I've got the rattle gun in there.
And I hear out the window the sound of what can only be described as somebody getting after it. Somebody brapping it up, giving it the old dit. I
think what it needs is a bit of stirring action. Hot. Oh yeah, I was using the wrong size socket. Actually, that makes no sense because I had the neck size down, so that's what's going on there. I had the neck size down, didn't fit. that was the right size. That was the right size. What am I talking about? Anyway, that's done for. See you later, alligator. Bam, no bump stop. Has anyone out there done what are they called? Those stupid Valiant things? Torsion bar. Anybody out there re-index their torsion bars? We need to do that. Okay, so we're a little excited there, but we got the bump stop off and the steering limiter sorted out. So let's put the wheel back on.